Last day of the month. So thank you all for being on the call tonight for our leadership. Man, I'm excited about tonight. Hey, I'd like to thank Sensational for being on the call tonight down in Florida. Mr. Belinda Batiste, thank you so much. Mr. Tom Shelper, good evening. Miss Christina, so good evening. Mr. Freddie Sherman, good evening. Mr. Gail Wiggins, thank you so much. Ms. Pat Robinson in Oakland. Mr. Julian Lewis, Regional Director out of San Diego. Thank you so much. Ms. Sayers out of Australia. Thank you for joining in. Also, Ms. Katz, Regional Director out of Australia as well. Good evening, dear. I love how you have a lot of good input. Mr. Marvin Carter, Regional Director out of Fresno. Good evening, sir. Mr. Payon in Japan. Thank you so much. Ms. Ingram, Regional Director over in Australia. Wow, look at this. Ms. Natalie Pereira over in Las Vegas. Ms. Luana Pinedo, another Regional Director. Good evening. Mr. Chris McDowell. Good evening, sir. Ms. Natasha Ismail, Regional Director out of Fresno. Wow. Mr. Sam Foster, good evening, sir. Hey, good questions last night, sir. Very good questions. Miss Marcia Carter, good evening so much. Good evening. Pastor Thomas, good evening down there in Dallas, Texas. Miss Diane Collins in Australia, where is she at? I always love to see her name pop up there. She just blesses me. There she is. Oh, just always. Hey, Miss Castro over in Phoenix, Arizona. Mr. Brian Lewis, good question yesterday, sir. Really appreciate that question. And I'm thankful that your brother helped further the information along to where we can understand, answer in a way for you. Mr. Timothy, thank you so much for joining us. Miss Kanahara in Japan, good evening, dear. David Wright, good evening, sir. Miss Eileen in San Diego. Miss Celia in Woodland, California. Miss Walker, good evening. Also, Mr. Ismail, thank you, sir, for being on the call. Miss Caroline Johnson, thank you so much. Mr. Abs, Regional Director in Australia, sir. There you are. All right. Mr. Dave Culver, good evening. Miss Kathleen Williams, good evening. Dee Dee Sanders, good evening. Hey, folks, I want to thank everybody on the call tonight. I am looking forward to taking off from where I left off last week, and Mr. Bree Clemens has really been helping me out. Matter of fact, can we give Mr. Bree Clemens a hand for all he does behind the scenes? And he got in early so we could go through things for tonight. I want to talk about, give it to him, first of all, to give all the highlights, all the promotions that we had yesterday. We do it on Friday, happy hour, and also on Saturday, leadership for people that can't make it. We like to get them on here to recognize them, make them feel good about the great decision they made. So as you get new IBOs, text Mr. Bree Clemens at the number on here, the name of the new IBO and or somebody got promotion in your organization. So it's always good to let them see this. So without further ado, I'll put your hands on Mr. Bree Clemens. Sir.
Yes, sir. So the new IBOs for this week, we have Sunny. I don't want to mess this name up again. Sorry, Julian. Gutierrez, I believe. Miss Ranisha Mills and a Mr. Paulino.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So let's give them all a hand for the brand new IBOs this week. Folks, I know we got to get these numbers up, and I know there's a lot of folks that failed to send the information in, but make sure you do that as you get them on the daily basis. You can send them to Mr. Bree Clemens, and he'll add them onto the list for the Friday night happy hour and Saturday leadership. So thank you all. Congratulations. I want to go into some stuff I talked about last week. I want to go in some more into detail. So I'm going to show you what I showed last week of me going out, getting a customer signed up for Vivid. And so here's the pictures. The one to the left is a Vivid guy that came out to hook everything up for us. And then the middle picture, he didn't have another camera, so we had to call backup to bring a camera out. And to the right of that is the happy couple, as you can see, smiling with their Vivid box in the background and excited about Vivid. So I just want to share that with you, because when I go out, I'm calling new people. As I get people on my business, I will go there and make sure everything is done right. And as you can see, I have my Vivid shirt on in the picture on the left. Why? Because I want to go next door to tell the people next door, I'm here as your Vivid personal agent to help you get your Vivid. And I knocked on 6 or 7 doors. I got 2 people responded in a positive way. The rest wasn't home. But I just wanted to show you what happened by going out and doing these things. See, to be a leader, it doesn't take that much more to think outside of the box and quit doing the same old, but think outside the box and then start implementing it. And watch what happens. Because Mr. Marvin Carter heard me say this, I want to show you a picture of what he did. Now here's Mr. Marvin Carter out talking to a neighbor, put his shirt on, got this gentleman signed up. To the right is his heart, the Vivid smart home phone guy come hooking the system up and making sure they can go smoothly. And because of this, Mr. Carter got 2 more referrals for customers just by implementing something so simple. And just like last week, I told you 5 steps of becoming a, things you need to do to become a senior vice president. Now think about how simple that was. Was that hard to go do? No. Did that show who we represent? Yes. You see, so use the tools. Some of you got gifts that I've sent out this week for hitting a certain number of customers or calls, which is just for Vivid, because I want you to understand what we have and using the thoughts by getting to create new ideas in our mind. In other words, write this down. To think is to create. You guys heard me say that many times. To think, and most people don't think, they're just told what to do all the time. No, to think is to create, and to create is to think. I'll say that one more time. To think, write that down. To what? To think is to create, and to create is to think. Just by me doing this one task, he went out and did it the next week. Watch this. How many other of you have went on and did these simple little things? See, it's not that difficult. We just not used to thinking outside the box. So think of something creative and just go do it. I had the what was that? The gray one on. I also had the orange one on, and Mr. Carter got the other one on. See, it's so simple. It's so simple. It's so simple. So I want to go into a couple of steps that we talked about last week. So with that said, sir, can we put up a SVP Mindset? Now, I talked about this last week, and I didn't go into a lot of details, but just gave you a lot. But today I want to dive into 2 aspects that should bless you to no ends. So with this, next box, please. Now, out of the 5 things we talked about, number 1, I said make 25 calls each day to downline and prospects. Now, this is not that hard to go do. It really isn't. Okay, some of you said, which time was I just got into business? Well, let's say if you're ETL, what about doing about 10 or 15 calls a day? If you're RVP and SVP, what about 25 calls a day? And you say, well, I don't have that many people in my organization yet. Well, if you go out prospecting, you will get that many. And the money is always in the follow-up. So just by following up, Mr. Carter got that gentleman signed up, just by following up and wearing a shirt. See, these things are very important. So I want to go into some things we talked about last week. And one of the biggest things is we know how to send a video out. Yes, Mr. Thomas. We know how to ask people about the opportunity or share the opportunity. Here's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm in this number 1 is making 25 calls each day to the downline and prospects. Now watch this. It's not that difficult. We think that's a big number, but it's not a big number. It really isn't. We just got to get in the habit of doing it. And not only that, but thinking on your feet. Write that down. Thinking on your feet. Because what happens a lot of times, we know how to talk to people. We know what to say. We got a little script. We got that down pat. Got it. But then when they throw us what I call a zinger, something you're not ready to answer, you go, or hammer time, whatever. You're not ready because you don't have any answers because you never thought that far out. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to take a little bit of time tonight, and I want you to go through, take your phone off mute, and I want to go through some objections that you come across that you don't think you can handle. And the only reason, let me say this, the only reason you cannot handle them because you have not practiced. You got to dig into this profession called network marketing. Mr. Cooper talked about that. Mr. Dean Torelli talked about it. Mr. Nelson talked about it. You're not digging into your profession to come up with answers just like that. And once you get the answer, just file in your mind, and that way somebody comes up with something, you can come right back at them with an answer without going, and you got to think through it. So we're going to do this right now. I'm going to open the phone lines up, Mr. Bree Clemens. I want you guys to hit me with some objections that throw you off the business. So whatever questions you may have, or thoughts, or questions people hit you with that you can't answer, I want you tonight, one at a time, to answer. I want to show you how to answer those questions. And number 2, it says right here, send out 3 to 5 videos per day. See, so these are simple things to get more and more people in touch with you and expose them more to the opportunity. So you will have 25 calls to make every day. I mean, I'm making 25. I do a lot more than that some days, but here again, I have a minimum, and don't let your minimum be your maximum. So here again, I have so let's do this. The lines are open. Any question you may have when somebody says something to you and you don't have an answer. Because the handling objections is not that difficult. There's only a few of them. My first cassette tape I came out with, show you how long ago that was when I first got network marketing 20-something years ago. It was called How to Handle 25 Tough Objections. And it's not that difficult, for it's only a few of them. But have you mastered them? That's what I want you to get across today, how to master this. So first person with a question about objections or something, when you're talking to somebody, they throw a zinger at you, you don't know how to answer it. What might that be tonight? So we're gonna go into this. We're gonna take some time and break this stuff down so you'll be real proficient. When somebody says something to you, it doesn't throw you off. You're ready to come right back at them. Now watch this. Every time you ask you a question, watch how fast I come back with a solution. Because I'm prepared. I've studied my trade. I studied my business. I studied my industry. I'm a studier. So let's get the first question that somebody throws you a zinger that you don't have an answer to when they ask you something, throw something at you. You can't answer it right off the top of your head. So let's see who's got the hardest question out here.
It's not hard.
Not that it's that hard.
Huh?
Mr. Thomas, I'll go ahead and throw one out there that is very common, that comes up all the time. I'm very busy. I don't have the time. I've got kids. I've got a job. I just
Don't go into the rest of the detail. That's all right. But watch this, because our questions sometimes are wait. Let's get to the point. Here's what I say to people. Whatever they don't have, watch this. Whatever they don't have, that's exactly why you need to do this. I don't have the time. That's exactly why you need to do this. So you'll have more free time to do the things you really want to do. I don't have the money. That's exactly why you need to do this. Look at my head. Look, I'm leading the witnesses in the court of law. That's exactly why you need to do this. So you'll have more free time. Oh, Mr. Thomas, I just don't have enough time in a day. That's exactly why you'll do this. So you'll create more time for you and your family to have time together. Does that make sense? See, oh yeah. I always go back to, does that make sense? So that's a good one, Ms. Luana. Thank you so much. That is a good one. They always tell you what they don't have. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Whatever it is, that's exactly why you need to do this. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Next one. Thank you, Ms. Luana. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I have one.
That's a common one.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
this is Pat. I'm not a salesperson.
Watch this. Watch how easy this is. Who said you had to be one?
Mm-hmm.
See, notice how I come back just like this with the answer. Who said you had to be a salesperson? Did I say you had to be a salesperson? No, just be you. Because you try to be a salesperson, you'll scare everybody off. Just be you. Who said you had to be a salesperson? You see, all I'm doing with these objections, ladies and gentlemen, is taking it away and flipping around to them, just like they give it to me. Who said you had to be a salesperson? Who gave you that idea? See, I'm making them question where they get their information from. And by the way, if you're married or got a boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody sold somebody there anyway, but that's a joke. but the whole idea, who said you had to be a salesperson? I look at people weird. I like, who said that? Who told you that? You see how you do that? Who told you had to be a salesperson? Next question.
I have a question, Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Brian Willis. Okay, so what if they say, I've done things like this in the past. I like it, but I've ruined my contact list.
Well, that's all right. We'll start a fresh one. Is that okay with you with my help? Is that okay? Look at my head, everybody. Look at me. What am I saying? Look at me. Yeah, I understand. I understand. But with my help, we're going to start a new one for you. Is that okay with you? You see?
Mhm.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever ate a bad steak before? Did that stop you from eating steak? You see, you got to make people think, because they say things without thinking to throw you what I call a zinger. Because people don't think today. They always want to be told what to do. That's a good one, Ms. Lewis. Thank you.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
believe it or not, after someone saw the presentation, they still ask me, is this like a pyramid?
And that's exactly what I do, Mr. Sam Foster. I laugh like anything. No, this is not a pyramid. Pyramids over in Europe, over. No. I would. Here's one of my funny ones I like to say to people. I really get them with this one. Shoot, I would never do that to you. I would never do that to you. We've been around 27 years. You think we're doing something wrong, they would have caught up with us by now. What do you think? You see, see what I'm doing, I'm making them question their own selves and what they just said to me. A pyramid deal, no, those are illegal. See, then because you mess their heads up by saying something so simple. And then I've had people go, oh yeah, huh? Let me tell you something. I don't know if they still have it, but Sam's Club have on the wall a picture of a pyramid with the structure of their president, vice president, and all the people that work for it. It's so funny. I used to have it on my phone. I don't know if I still have it, but I used to say, oh, you mean one of these things? And I make them laugh. Like, wait, don't you belong to one of these things too? See, you got to educate people. My job and your job is not to down people. It's just to educate them on things they don't understand. Think about it. Who told us all this negative stuff? People that don't know nothing about our industry, nothing. But they heard some broke, beady-eyed person and they adopted what they heard, but they don't even know the truth. And the facts are not that. Does that make sense? And when I talk about pyramids, I go, wait a minute. There's general, right? General, colonel, major, captain, lieutenant, all the way down to buck private. I say everything in life is structured this way. Don't you get it? I live in Vegas. Every casino, there's one casino that would stay structured like this if it was an earthquake. It's called a Lexor. Because why? It's how it's structured. So here again, you have to understand people don't know no better. So it takes you to calm them down, to make them think about their question and then give them the answer. Does that make sense? So I don't get mad when people say this. I just tell me they're just ignorant. They just don't understand the reality of the truth. Their job is a pyramid. The army, the military, everything's shaped that way. There's nothing that, everything that is a network market, but the average guy doesn't realize it because he's never thought about it. He's always listening to people who don't know what they're talking about. Does that make sense now? But I don't get mad at people. My job is to educate them. See, look at it this way. You and I are an educator. We have to educate people on something they don't even understand. Or they get their information, somebody who tried something and it didn't work for me. No, they just didn't go to work in the business right. That's all. So I never get mad when people say this to me. I figure I'm not going to sit there and challenge them. I'm going to sit there and try to educate them to see the truth. Now, some will catch it, some will never catch it because they don't want to think that way. They're looking for every reason why it won't work for them. And you know what I tell them? You're absolutely right. It will not work for you. I've always believed. First of all, I always believed in myself. I always believed things that I always did. But you got to understand, most people are not trained to believe in something better than a job. If they're not rich in a week, they've given it up. Isn't that crazy? If they're not rich in a week, although they went to college for 10, 15 years, come out with a piece of paper, can't find a job, they give network marketing a week and a half. If they're not rich, they give it up. Anything of value takes work. Anything. And you guys probably heard me say this thousands of times. The hardest thing I've got to do every day is educate the people who don't know this industry. That's the hardest thing we have to do, educate you. Next question, thank you.
Okay, this is a question, Mr. Tom. This is Belinda. Like getting a customer, a gas customer, and the person said, well, I have to check with my husband for that.
Oh my God. You don't want to hear my answer.
Yes.
See, I'm a little more in your face kind of guy.
Uh-huh.
And I'd say Miss Belinda. Now, you know good well, girl. You know good well you run that house. You know good well you got to ask him nothing. You know good well. And she go, yeah, that's right. You see, I make it's so easy. This stuff is so easy to have people eat out of the palm of your hand. Now, girl, I know you make all decisions at that house. Come on. You know the action for that. How long you been saving that little red dress that you've been wearing? Come on, girl. I just start talking to people like that and they get, all right, I sign up.
Okay.
And it was a guy. No, it's seriously because it's funny to me. So you guys are taking their answers too serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. If there's a guy I know, I talked to this guy about 6 months ago, and I met him a couple of times with other people and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he's a macho kind of guy. And he said something like, well, I got to talk to my wife. I go, excuse me? I thought you said you're the man of the house. See, all right, man, I'm signing up. See, you guys are not using these tools.
Gotcha.
I've even said this to guys that I know a little closer. I said, come on, man, I thought your pants zipped up in the front, not the back. But it gets the job done. But watch this. Some of you are scared to say that because you're like, oh, no. I've had people say, well, man, yeah, okay, I'll sign up now. Because you're scared. As long as people throw you a curveball, you're okay with it. But when you take the sheet off their head and see the real truth, tell them the truth. I've had people say, man, okay, I'm signing up, because that makes sense. You're right. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to make sense. If I convince you today, I got to convince you tomorrow. ACN has never paid me a dime to convince people. They pay me money to lead people, to give people value, to give people insight, to see what their future can be. That's what they pay me for. Not trying to convince people. I go broke trying to convince people. Have you noticed? Trying to convince, run faster. So
Wow.
here again, you're in the business of sharing information on educating people who know nothing about the industry. Think about it. You got friends right now, you don't know what they do. You've been friends with them for a while, you know, but you got to understand you're there to educate people in an intelligent way so they understand the truth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't try to convince anybody. I've had IBOs call me up, Mr. Thomas, I need you to talk to this person. I need you to convince them. And I lose it when they say that. I say, no, I'm not going to convince them. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not here to convince people. If somebody did that to you, how would you feel? Nobody wants to be convinced, but people will listen to people who got knowledge. So don't try to convince nobody. While I'm wasting my time with one person, I can have 3 more persons I can talk to that want to hear what you have to say. Does that make sense? Let me give you an old Indian proverb. This old Indian proverb says, man was given so many words a day. Can you imagine you get, let's say 1,000 words a day. And after you run out of 1,000 words, you can't speak no more till the next day after 9. How many would lose, couldn't even speak because you wasted your words on people that won't hear nothing about what you got to say. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And another thing, if you see somebody's going to say no to you, let me watch this. If I see somebody to get ready to tell me no, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm sorry, Mr. Foster. I just remembered what my upline, Mr. Sherman said. Guys like you can't do this. I'm so sorry, sir. I wasted your time. Now watch this. How do you feel when somebody if I told you no before you told me no? Don't you feel better about yourself? So if I see somebody ready to tell me no, this ain't, I say, you know what? I'm sorry. I just realized this. You can't do this. They go, what? I say, you can't do this. I'm sorry. I wasted your time. And now they're convincing me why they can do it. So you guys don't have to chase people. Just be honest with people. That's right. That's right, Mr. Sherman. Hello. Don't chase them. I had a guy I told you about 2 months ago. A guy I see in the morning when I take my walks. Security guard. I mean, the guys. And I sent him the video. He didn't look at it. And about a week later, hey, Mr. My thing with him was, hey, Ralph, this is not for you. You're not the guy I want. Because the guy I want would have got to work 10 minutes early to watch a video. See, he just ruled himself out. I don't chase him. I saw him today. I went, hey, Ralph, how you doing? Still here, Ralph? I can't help Ralph. Look, you can only, write this down. This is very important. My billionaire mentor gave me. He says, you can only help people. I'll say it again. You can only help people. I'll say it again. You can only help people who want help. You can only help people, Ms. Castro. You can only help people who want help, Mr. Timothy, and above all else, want to help themselves. Can you and I truly help them, Ms. Carter? I'll say it again. You can only help people. See, this has been driven in my head for decades. You can only help people who want help and above all else, want to help themselves. Can you and I truly help them? They got to want it. Man, I'm not going to sit out here and get beat up on people who don't want to hear what I got to say. They got to want it. And all your job and my job is a sort. It's a sorting business. Some will, some won't, somewhere 6 will. My billionaire mentor told me, all you gotta do is find one person, a superstar in 6 different legs to do very well. And by God, he was right. I don't try to get on here and convince people. I don't do that. I share the information. I read the 10 boxes and I impress them because I keep it so stupidly simple. They're going like, this joker does that well with just reading boxes? Are you freaking kidding me? See, that's what I want them to think. I can do what he just did, but if I go up and get all eloquent and all this conversation, all these big words, man, people sitting there like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't be as good as Mr. Dave Culver, the professor. I can't be that good as Mr. Bree Clemens. I can't be that good as Ms. Wiggins. I can't be that good. But man, when I sit there and read it to people, and they look at me like, this idiot is reading this thing to me. Yeah, I could do that. And if he's doing this, shit, I'm gonna kill this business. That's what I want you to do. I'm not here trying to convince you. If anything, I'm trying to get simple, intelligent to make an intelligent decision. The phone ring, we get paid. Hello. What is so difficult about this business that we have to say all this and talk all? It's so simple. So simple. Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to save money on your bottom line expenses? Yeah. Hey, let me ask you another question. Do you understand the word residual income? See, these questions are really not that difficult. It's just that we never took time out of our day beside these conference calls to really work on who? Ourselves. So I'm not convincing anybody. I'll just read it. Keep it simple. Next question.
I have one, Mr. Thomas. This is Marcia.
Yes, Mrs. Carter.
I got this one today. I don't trust it because I did something like this before and it was a scam.
Well, I forgive you. I've been doing this for many years. And I never missed a week, never missed a paycheck. See, or look, I don't know what that was, but I know what this is. We've been around 27 years. We got a better business rating of, A+. We're debt free. Excuse me, something everybody uses. So you just go into real simple stuff. I forgive you. I mean, things happen. Sometimes people get so excited with a zealous company, but I know how to pick a good company. Think about it. Everybody's got what I have. We've been around 27 years and counting. See, now you got credibility on your side. You could, you could keep doing what you're welcome. Hey, you could keep doing what you could, look, let me ask you here again, go back to the same question. Have you ever ate a bad steak before? Yes. Does that stop you from eating steak? No. So just get over it, move on. Hey, let me ask you a question. If you lost your job, you go out in the backyard and blow your brains out, you get another one. You see how you answer the questions? Make people think, because we don't think anymore in this society. We're so busy to be told what to do, we don't even understand what we have. Thank you, Ms. Ingram out there in Australia. Just answer a question. It's not that difficult.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Hey, this is Julian. There's one thing that I've been noticing. I don't know if everyone's catching this, but it's so important. When you're going back and forth with the questions, not only are you answering them right away, but you're answering them very calm, just matter of fact-ish, and it's not an argument. Exactly. It's not a push-pull. It's really calm. And when you do that, people are like, oh yeah. And they notice it because they sense that energy. So I just wanted to mention that, because I don't know if everyone's picking up, but that's definitely SVP status. So I appreciate everything that you're sharing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. A lot of us get resentful and revengeful and mad about something because we don't have the answers, and we haven't been around the industry long enough to answer it. What people don't know, your job is to slow it down and educate them. And that's all we do, is educate people on things they don't understand. I don't have to defend it. I just educate people. I'm an educator, and so should you. So don't go half mad about what somebody say something to tick you off. They just don't know any better. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis, for that. Another one. Anybody else? I don't want to mix business and friendship. Okay, that's a good question. So let me ask you a question. If you're my friend and you had a way for me to make a couple extra $1,000, you wouldn't share that with me? See, I turned it around on you. So let me make sure I understand this. You had a chance to share something, an opportunity, how I can make money around my schedule from home, and you would not share that with me, your friend? So now who feels bad? So in other words, what I just shared, what I just say to you, you mean to tell me I have something to help you and you won't want to hear about it? That's what I just basically said, reversed. It's not that difficult. So let me ask you another question. friend, who was that friend for friend, business don't mix. Let me ask you a question. Here's what I say to people. I ask them questions. Let me ask you a question. If you can make $600, if you can make $600 in your first 30 days with $224 investment, does that make sense? Would you do that? Does that make sense to you? Oh, I never looked at it that way. So let me ask you this question. When you go down to your bank and see your banker tomorrow and you ask him if you can put up $224 and make back $600 legally in 30 days. See that, wow, you mean I put up $224 and make back six? What is that, 2.5 times your money legally? Does that make sense to you? Hello? Uh-oh. Does that make sense, everybody? When I talk to business owners, I want to make sense. I want to make sense. Does it make sense to put up $224 and make back $600 the first 30 days? Yes or yes? I mean, think about it. And I ask people, what kind of return is that on your investment? When last time you doubled 2.5 times your money in 30 days? See, I start asking people questions. Hold on a second, everybody. Okay, I start asking people questions because I want to make people think. Like I said, to think is to create, and to create is to think. And most people don't think. They use their head for a hat rack. We got to make people think. When you make common sense, man, they get it. But if you're not making common sense, they don't get it. I make people think about things. Throw me some more.
Mr. Thomas, Luis Empeon from Japan. This is Luis Empeon from Japan. Somebody told me I am a high executive at this company. I've been working there for 22 years. If they find out I'm trying to do this, they will fire me and I will lose my livelihood.
Let me share something with you guys. Now, notice all these excuses. Let me give you an idea. I have a guy in my team a while back. He was a vice president of AT and you know who. Okay, and he said, look, I'm not stupid. This makes a lot of sense. He said, so how can I make this work for me without getting in trouble? Now watch, he was intelligent. Notice notice how he's talking to me. Intelligently, this makes a lot of sense. And I'm the competition and you can do this around. So here's what he did. He says, how can I do this, Mr. Thomas? Watch this. I said, you're married, right? He goes, yes. How many years? 18. I go, put in your wife's name. It's her business. See, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but y'all not using this. Hey, and I'd say the executive, how many other executives at your level has been laid off, downside, or fired? They got no residuals. So what are you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boy, bad boy. I'm just kidding. What are you gonna do when they come for you? You know, so you gotta make people think. To think is to what? Create, and to create is to think. And that's just excuses. They're fearing their job loss. But you got more than fear than that. But what if, I mean, think about it. How many people now are looking at AC and like never before said 2 and 3 years ago, no, thank you, no, thank you. And now all of a sudden they lost their job, unbeknownst to them, had nothing to do with their network marketing business because they weren't smart enough to have a backup plan. And I always tell people, you need a backup plan. Plan A, work 1 to 30 years, make your boss rich. Or plan B, work yourself 1 to 7 or 10 years to be wealthy. Whatever you want to slice it and dice it. But you got to put the time in it no matter what it is. Now, let me explain what I mean. Plan A, work 1 to 30 years. Everybody look at this. Work 1 to 30 years, make your boss rich, right? Plan A, 1 to 30 years, make your boss rich. Well, you do AC in 1 to 10 years, make yourself the same way. What's more important to you? Plan A or plan B? Well, plan B. If you mess up plan A, you got 25 years left to go work plan B. But so you're not even thinking outside. They're not trained to think. Think about it. We were never trained to think. We're trained to be not entrepreneurs. We're trained to be worker bees, not an entrepreneur. I don't care how many degrees a person got, man. If they got a job, I don't care how high up they are, they're still in a work position where they have no control of their income. They have no control. They got to go to work Monday through Friday. I stay home Monday through Friday. They have to show up. I don't have to show up. They got to kiss the pinky ring. I don't kiss pinky rings. Man, and you're going to let some joker with 4 or 5 degrees, got more degrees than a thermometer, tell you something, and he or she don't have residual income? How dare you? But so you got to have backbone and posture, understand what you got. You think Mr. Julian Lewis had these answers, you think that make him back down? Nope. The reason why he's so successful with the business is because he takes the answers and he runs with them. And everything I said tonight was nothing hard that you need to go get a dictionary, abacus, or anything like that. It's just common sense, folks. And most people don't have any common sense. There was nothing I said here tonight that was very hard to go answer. You just let somebody say to them, you fall apart. Oh, no. Get the answer, file it in your membranes, and then when that question comes up again, you got the answer. I think I can answer questions like this all the time because I got years of experience with it. That's all. From one dumb person to another dumb person. Somebody think they got I got a question. Okay, it's all the same. Basically, it's only about a dozen questions. There's only about a dozen, maybe max, maybe 24, 25 questions. My first cassette tape came out, 25 objections of the network marketing and how to handle them, because it's not that difficult. You just got to get good at the answers and then regurgitate it when somebody says something goofy to you. And then one day somebody gonna say to you, you go like, oh my God, did that come out of my mouth? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Because then it's got here. You got here. It's not that difficult. Not that difficult at all. You know, we got Mr. Brian on with the cell phone store in Fresno. This guy, he signs people up all the time. Customers, IBL. He don't say very much. He says, sign here. You want to save some money? You want to make some money? Sign here. Why do we think we need all this? It's a real simple business. We just have to rethink how we answer things. It's really that. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. I'm so proud of Marvin Carter. Went out and did the same thing I did, got customers right behind it, and 2 more ready to come in. Why couldn't the rest of us think along that way? Because we try to do the same thing the same way. And it's not that difficult. I had a guy the other day said, what do you do? I said, I get paid every time a phone rings. How does that work? Let's change numbers, I'll tell you later. Wow. It's a really thought to think. It's not that difficult. Next question.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
The question is, you've been doing that for a long time. Have you replaced your income yet?
Oh, that's a question they asked me?
Yeah.
Oh, they're asking you that question when you asked them about
they're
that.
asking me that question.
No, not yet, but I'm close. I'm closer than I was a year and a half ago. So what did I just say to you psychologically? I'm a lot further than you are. At least I started. You ain't even started yet. You see, it's all in the wording of what you say to people. No, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm a lot further than I was 2 or 3 years ago. So what did I just say? What did I just really say to you? At least I've started, and you haven't started nothing. See? At least I started a couple years ago. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. I love what Amway people say. Every time I say Amway person, they crack me up. Find out they're an Amway. I say, how long you been doing this? Oh, I've been there for 20 years, but I'm really just now getting started. I used to say, but I used to crack me up when I heard that. But think about it. Everybody on this phone call tonight has a chance to go out. Tomorrow is November 1st. We have less than 60 days. This year is over. Watch this. Tomorrow, right now, tonight, after you have a chance to go make, every one of you have a chance to go make $600 just by gathering customers, month after month after month. Wow. Just think about that. Okay, you didn't make 600 this month. You only made 400. Did that 10 times a year. That's $4,000 on a $224 investment. See, are you even looking at it as an investment? When I talk to business owner, I say, look, let me give you an idea how you could get 2.5 times return on your ROI, on your return of your investment. See, they think differently. So who are you in front of? What conversation do you have with that person? If I'm talking to a person that never had a business and all they know is a small job, then I have to educate them either A, to be an IBO, open them up, or B, be a customer and move on. Some of you folks out there got people signed up, can't get them qualified. They were just a, what, $199, $149 customer. You know, I mean, you just got to move on. Get that person qualified, drop them like it's hot, move on to the next person. Got to get paid for your time. And as you get better with your trait in spelling and conversating with people and how to overcome objections, the faster your organization grows and the bigger residual check you get. It's just handling objection. That's all this is about. And most of us have never thought about how do we handle them? Or what do I say if they say this? Have you watched this? How many of you thought about that? What if somebody say this? How do I answer? Did you take the time out to really dig in deep into you to have the answer? Because you have the same answer month after month, year after year, decade after decade in this industry. It's the same questions. The question is, do you have the answer to go back at them and get them intelligent information? That's all. That's all. Next question.
Mr. Thomas, somebody told me I'm an introvert and you're an extrovert, so I cannot.
What does that got to do with paying bills? What does that got to do with making money? So you guys see how stupid see how stupid this stuff is? What does that got to do with you making money? What does that got to do with you going to work every day? See all that crap they throw at you guys? So what's it got to do with making money? Introverts got jobs, extroverts got jobs, everybody. What's it got to do with anything? You see what I mean? The longer I've been doing this, the stronger I became, and I don't play games with people like they want to play with you. Don't allow people to waste your time, energy. Don't let that happen. Next one, give me another one. We got time for a few more because this is not hard.
Mr.
Okay,
Thomas.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Belinda. Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I want to say. This is a conversation I had with someone. This is someone that had knocked on my door and he was selling energy. I talked to him, but he wasn't interested. So then I just ended up calling him just to speak. And I asked him if I could send him a video to take a look at, just for him to look at. So he responded after, he said, looks like good information, but this is his response. He said, it goes against my non-compete. I would be risking a lawsuit if I sold energy for any other company. And I responded back to him. I said, well, you know what? Thanks for your response. But if ever you decide to fire your boss, I have a spot for you. If you know of anyone that would like to invest $224 and get $600 within 30 days, refer them my way. And he just sent me a thumbs up.
There you go. Now, I want to thank you, Miss. Now watch this. How many of you would have said what she said? Most of y'all wouldn't have said that. Y'all just so embarrassed of what, oh, I can't say that to people. Oh, no. Oh. Now, look, because she has some kahunas, look at the response she got. Thumbs up. I'll be happy to refer people to you. Hey, I look at this, what you here again, like I said before, you got to get paid for your time. Either an IBO, right, a customer, or referral. Man, that's awesome. Now watch this. Why can't the rest of us do that? We can. Fire your boss. You know, think about it. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna do like that. What's that? Bad boys, bad boys. What they're gonna do when they come for you? What are you gonna do when they lay you off? What are you gonna do? So you gotta play. Look, you gotta bury people to make them think because they don't think that far ahead. And he's probably the lowest guy on the totem pole. Think about he's gonna get. How you gonna sue somebody who's broke already? You see what I mean? Y'all not even thinking. He might get sued. Who gonna sue you, man? You ain't got two nickels to rub together. But see, y'all, you see, but you gotta think over this stuff. He's tripping out, and he ain't got nothing to get sued over. It's just a little dingle they throw over you to keep you in pocket. That's all that is. He ain't got $4.50 worth to get sued on. You see what I'm saying? So why are you guys so freaking out about what people say to you? Give them a solution. All I do is find solutions every single day. AT&T executive, hey man, Hey, I'm not, hey, let's put it in your wife's name. It's hers. Remember, she runs the family anyway. I just start joking with her. She makes decisions. This better be her thing. And you know, good well, you ain't gonna say it. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, just share it with them. Give them a solution. What's the solution? Find a solution. There you go, Mr. Lou. All successful people are as solution finders. You want to make a lot of money, solve a lot of problems. I'm telling you, it's not that difficult, folks. It's the question is, who have you been listening to? And that's why I felt so compelled tonight just to have a fireside chat with you on how to handle objections when people give you stuff. And you know good well it don't make sense, but they make it think it, they want you to think it makes sense. It don't make no sense because they still gotta go to work every day. Now, freedom is when you can roll over or roll out. I like rolling over. You see? So you have to understand how to answer these people's questions when they come at you, because like I say, it's really simple. Another question or two.
Mr. Thomas? Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
And Ms. Carol
Yes.
Johnson, RD, Ms. Carol Johnson, Perla Bernal. We have a question. We've had some times that they've asked us, let me see your paycheck. Let me see the actual paycheck. How would you respond to that?
Well, first of all, you know, in network marketing, we're not supposed to show our paychecks. You know, we get in trouble for that now. But here's what I say to people. Do you see this for yourself? Do you see it for yourself? Yes or no? Oh, yeah, I do. Or let me ask you another question. Would it make sense if you spent $224 to get rid of several $100s in residual income, of bills every month? See, so I hit it a different way sometimes. Oh, I want to see your paycheck. Well, I'm sorry, I don't show my paycheck. I don't do that. Matter of fact, it's against our company policies to show paychecks because that's called enticement. We cannot entice people. But I can tell you one thing. You think after 20-some years I'd be still doing it if I wasn't? Wink, wink. You see? Or sometimes I'll say, do you see how I travel? Or I'll just say something like that. Let me ask you a question. Here's another one. Let me ask you a question. When did you have a mentor in this industry that hit the top levels for many decades? How would you feel about that? See, now they're thinking like, I might have tried something, but it didn't work, or I didn't have the right leadership, or whatever it might be. But I want to put them on the right track, let them know who you're working with. See, and that helps a lot. But also when people say how much you're making, on my first cassette tape that came out many years, I would say, hey, whatever it is, you can't spend it. And people used to laugh. I don't, you know, how much you make? I said, well, you know, what difference it make? You can't spend it. And see, a lot of people say, I can say that. Why not? I look at it this way. If they have the audacity to ask me how much money I make, why not? Look, nobody asks you on your job how much you make. You know why? Because they know you're broke. So you got the audacity to ask me how much money I made? Excuse me? Want you to want me to borrow $300 from me about 2 months ago? Oh man, but see, I don't see, that's what I'm saying. I don't play that with people. Yeah. And the only reason why they ask you, because they don't have any money themselves. I'm not here to convince you it works. You got a phone, you pay your bill every month, don't you? Yeah, then it works. You see, I just use examples back at people. So let me get this straight. If you don't pay your bill, your phone get cut off. So therefore you pay your bill every month. So it means several people are getting paid off your service and you don't ever see them. And you'll ask me if this works, huh?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many months do you go by without paying a bill? They'll cut it off, won't they?
Yeah.
So this is common sense. Watch, and this is what I say to people sometimes out of funness. I said, let me get this straight. The phone rang, you get paid. Hello. Does that make sense to you? It's because I clown people. I clown them because most stuff they ask is really ignorant and stupidity. It really is. It's just common sense. The phone ring, we get paid. What more? What? I mean, come on. Hello. Come on. And you can't see that for yourself? Go 3 months without paying your bill. See what happens. You got to make people think. And that's the reason why people don't ask people on the job what they make, because they already know they're broke. They're hoping it's real, hope it works. It does work. It does work. Now, here's my question to the person. Do you see it for yourself and your family? So let me ask you another question. Would you be willing to work at some 1 or 2 hours a day that you can live the lifestyle you want? Are you willing to learn something to help you in case you lost your job? Would you be willing to learn something different to help bless your family? And I tell my story. I tell my story. I started when an hour a day, then 2 hours a day the next year, then 3 hours, but I'm 30 hours financially free. But what if I didn't? What if I gave up? Because I'm not a quitter. I'm not a loser. So that's the answer. How much I make? Hey, what difference make? You can't spend it. Do you see it for you and your family? Yes or no? Let's see. I've been at this how long now? And you do what? Or sometimes I do this. Let me get this straight. And I do this a lot with people, and I'm out prospecting. I'll say, excuse me, what time of day is it? And I have people look at their watch. So it's 3:30 in the afternoon. This is what day? Tuesday? Okay, Tuesday, 2:30 in the afternoon. What are most people doing? They are at what? I like leading the witness. They're at what? Work. There you go. And what am I doing? I'm shopping. Would you like to learn how to live that like that? See, you got to plant the seed in people to think, because they're so busy working, they don't even think. I'll say, excuse me, what time is it? It's 2:30. Great. On a Thursday. Okay. What are most people doing? They're work. There you go, working. See, and what am I doing? Shopping. Okay. Would you like to learn how to be me? See, that's all I say to people, because people don't think. I had to slow them down to make them think like, oh yeah, it is in the afternoon. Yeah, most people are at work. And yeah, you're out here shopping. Wow. See, now they're thinking. That's what I got. Remember I said the hardest thing I got to do is people is to get them to think. They don't think. And that's how I get people all the time, get numbers like, give me a number. I'm gonna show you how I do this. I'm gonna take you under my wing and show you how I do this. I've only had a job once my whole life for 9 months. I'm gonna show you how I did that. You see what I'm saying? Now, I didn't have to prospect you prospected yourself. Now you want to know. Because your mama, your uncle, your sisters, your cousins, all still working at 3:30 in the afternoon. And I'm out shopping. How you doing? Anyway, you got to get people to think, y'all. This is not difficult. And keep a cool, calm head about it, because it's so easy. We live in a society, people do not think. They react. 1 or 2 more questions on how to handle objections.
Mr. Thomas. Oh, go ahead.
The question is, in customer acquisition, I really don't need any of the services that you offer. I'm satisfied with what I have.
So let me ask you a question. Watch how I answer this. Watch how I do this. Watch this. So let me ask you a question. So you don't want to save money. You want to adopt a nephew? So you like giving money away? Ooh. You want to adopt a nephew so you like giving money away? You see how I do that? That made you think like that. Yeah, that don't make no sense. That makes me look stupid. So you don't want to save money. In other words, you want to keep giving money away. You want to adopt a nephew so you like giving money away. You want to adopt me so you like giving money away. And I've had people stop to have a laugh at themselves. Like, that didn't make no sense. Did that come out of my mouth? That didn't make no sense. Yeah, I want to save money. So let me say it another way. So if you could save money and you wouldn't do it? So let me ask you, so if you could save money, but you would not do it, does that make any sense? See, I make people, does that make any sense to you? So you want to adopt a nephew so you like throwing money away? Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've said that to people. I can't tell you. And they have to catch themselves like, ooh, yeah, that didn't make no sense what I just said, did it? Last question.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
This is Pat. What doesn't
Yes,
make
Pat.
any sense. What doesn't make any sense to me, a person will run to a sale, but they don't want to save on their bill. I don't understand that.
You know, if I were you, Miss Pat Robinson, that's exactly how I'd answer people when they say something. I'm acting the same way. And I tell people, I said, you know, it's amazing how people will run and save money on a sale and won't save money on their own services they got to pay for the rest of their lives. Does that make any sense to you? So I just make them feel goofy. Like, does that make any sense to you? Because I'm having a problem finding logic in that. I'm trying to find logic in it. It doesn't make no sense to me.
Yes, it doesn't.
You see how you address it? This common sense. Everything I've talked about was just common sense right now. And people don't live in common sense anymore. They live in stupidity. This is common sense. So let me get it straight. The phone rang, you get paid, and you got to think about making money. Huh. So from a business standpoint, you mean to tell me you can put up $224 and make back $600 in the first, okay. I mean, it's just business. It's not convincing, it's just showing them business, common sense. Does this make sense? How do you feel about that? If I could show you a way to save money on your bottom line expenses, would you like to know about it? Yes. See, I'm leading the person right where I want them to go. It's not that difficult. So in other words, you have a chance to save money, but you don't. Man, I had you pegged wrong. Real simple. And all I did was slow everybody down to think. That's all I did. Think. Last question.
Mr. Thomas, a few people have told me I'm already retired. I have enough money to live. So sorry.
Well, good. Give me some of it since you got so much of it. Or who do you know that needs it to be like you? Who's not as fortunate as you? If you're that fortunate, why can't you help me help other people? So all that is ego and pride talking. I got enough money. No, you ain't got enough money. That's your pride and ego talking.
Thank you.
Yeah. But since you're set for life, what about some of your relatives and friends that were not set like you? Give me their names and numbers. Maybe I can help them make as much as you can. You see, it's just common sense stuff, folks. Pride and ego stops most people. Pride, ego, and stupidity. I hate to say it, but it is. I mean, look at our training, how simple it is. Look at our business plan. It's only one page. Look how many boxes, only 10. You mean to tell me you can't read that sucker? I mean, think about it. All we're doing is sorting. It's not like it's a 35-page manual. It's only one piece of paper with 10 boxes. This is almost insulting. And we get so pushed out of shape that 3 or 4 people tell you no, who don't want nothing better in their life. But along the way, you're gonna find you some RVPs and SVPs. I'm no smarter than anybody on the phone. I'll just outwork you. I've said that. I'll say that to the day. I mean, I'm not the smartest. I ain't the handsome, but I'll outwork you. I double dare you outwork me. And don't let the little naysayers mess your little head up. Well, let me tell you what they said to me. I could care less. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. Move on. So with that said, start here. Write this is the last thing I want you to write down. Learn how to think on your feet. Learn how to think on your feet, how to answer people's questions just as much as they throw them to you. All right, tell you what, let's go another 5 minutes. Throw me some more stuff. Try to zonk Al Thomas. Try to trick me while you can't do it.
I don't know if anybody said this earlier, Mr. Thomas, but this is a usually common thing that people say. Yeah, my cousin tried that. He almost lost his shirt on that, man. I don't think that works.
Well, you know what? I don't know about losing a shirt, but if $224 is a lot of money, you don't want them in the first place. You see, those are excuses. Lost. How do you know? I had a guy said, I lost everything. I said, how do you lose everything? One but $224. It's just funny to me. No, you got to understand. I guarantee you 90% of the time that person did do jack with the business. Here's what they thought. It was a lottery ticket. I spent $224, I'm gonna get rich without doing any work. That's where that comes from. Look, anything in life worth having takes work. You got a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, that takes work. You got kids, that take work. Anything of value takes work. The problem is most people don't have a strong work ethic. Like I said, I got a strong one. I'll outwork everybody. I do calls 7 days a week, 3 or 4 times a day sometimes. I'll outwork people. I'm no smarter. I just outwork you. That's all. And the reason why I can answer questions so fast because I'd heard everything under the sun because I'm still outworking everybody. I guarantee you, outwork me and you'll be surprised where you'll be in life. Just outwork me. Outwork me. I've said it everywhere for decades. Tell people outwork me. I don't care what age, young whippersnapper, older, I don't outwork me. And by default, you're gonna be See, somebody you're sitting on your husband every night, your wife on every, I mean, get a man on. Do something to change your zip code. Do something to change your bank. You do something to change it. Just do something. Man, we live in the greatest, look at this world. Man, I'm just blown away. I could go in the bathroom, turn on a spigot and hot water come on, 6 inches over, I could turn another spigot cold water. I'm still amazed at that. That's how ignorantly dumb I am. I'm so simple. I'm just blown away by that. I'm blown away. We live in a country where we can go out to the grocery store and there's 26,000 items in one grocery store. And they're a grocery store once every mile and a half away from each other. I'm simply blown away. You go some countries, they got nothing on the shelves. And here we got the life of luxury and we don't even do anything with it. We'll try it out. Trying out is for losers. You don't try to go to your car, you go to your car. Trying is for losers. Look at my dictionary, I took the word try out, cut it out. I'm not a loser. And neither are you. But you're living way beneath what God has got you here for, to help more people. One of my mentors is Peter Day Daniels out of Australia. Took me his wings years ago. I'm trying to tell you guys, you have so much to live for, to give back to people. And the reason why you're not where you want to be because you're so afraid of what they're going to say about you and talk about you. All a no does is put you closer to a yes. Don't you get it? Look. See that? On. It's on. You're so busy here to know, but successful people say it's on to the next one. See, this what scares most of you. Oh, my best friend said no, my uncle said no, my auntie said no, my cousin, I'm going to jail. That's what scares you, the word no. Successful people, we flip it over to say it's on to the next person. We don't care what people say about us, so why do you care what they're saying about you? Besides, they've been talking about you. We think too small, way too small. So I don't care what every excuse people give you. If you accept it, then realize you're part of the problem. You accept it. To be an entrepreneur, you got to go straight forward and you got to go for it. And don't give a rat's back at what anybody says. I've said it before. You think I care what people think about me? So why do you care? Now, with that said, I expect a whole lot of you to get busier this week. You got less than 2 months and this year is gone. And if you don't set yourself up right this year, 2021 is going to be a horrible year for you. So quit thinking about what people say about you. Handle objections, move on to the next one, and make people think on your feet, and watch what happened to your income. Watch what happened to your organization. All Al Thomas has on you, honestly, is I'll just outwork you. I'm not the fastest, not the sharpest, just outwork you. With that said, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, we'll be back with the training on a product training tomorrow night with Mr. Bree Clemens. I'm looking forward to it. He's starting to screen here. Oh, and here we go. The month of November. Look at there. Every Monday. Make it happen on Mondays with Miss Natasha Ismail. November schedule, Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Party, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock, Tuesday, Thursday, 1 through 10, Saturday leadership like tonight. Mr. Williams, Wedding Wednesday, Mr. Williams be joining us on Wednesdays. And then on Tuesday, the great Mr. Julian Lewis will be with us on Transformation Tuesday. So that's our schedule. Now look at this. I want to show you guys something. We go, Mr. Bree Clemens, go way above the call of duty. Look how nicely we put things together for you to capitalize on. Now, please don't take this the wrong way. Get off your rear end, put your rear end in gear, and get people on these calls. We don't do a slops job. We do a first-class job for you to build a team anywhere in the globe if you just get on these calls with people. This is not hard to go do. Everything I talk about is simple. I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple. But the question is, will you do it? Look at these flyers. Look how professionally done. All for you. Thank you, Mr. Sam Foster, for your commitment on your last night call. Thank you for that. Folks, I want to say have a good evening. Be safe. But look, tomorrow is November 1. You got 60 days left and this year is gone. We're entered a new decade, a new norm. You better switch up and adapt very fast, or you're gonna get left behind. And with that said, I want to thank everybody that sounded my voice tonight. God bless you all. You know, I love you. I want nothing but the best for you and your family, but you guys got to put the work in. Follow me yeah. All right. Well, listen, you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on the product training. And don't forget Monday. Oh, don't forget Monday is our 6 o'clock p.m. We have our power hour every Monday in the month of November, every Monday in November. And also we'll have a wrap up of the contest winners by next Friday. We've got to check everything out for the contest winner, for the contest that we did for the power hours. And with that, God bless you. Thank you so much. Love you. Be safe, but do something. God bless.
Thank you, sir.